Guess who's back?
Hello. On behalf of the Scif Dream Team, today we have the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Vanessa Huron, who has a PhD from the School of Babs.
Alright, so first off, what is your profession right now, and can you explain what you do?
Sure. So I'm an educational developer in the Office of the Pro Vice Chancellor Education. And so what my job involves is I have a look at all the different UNSW Sydney science courses, and we figure out ways in which we can enhance the student experience and learning. And we make really fun and innovative different digital resources such as videos, virtual labs, different lessons, walking tours, VR, AR. It's pretty exciting what we're doing, yeah.
Before being an educational developer, what sort of jobs did you have? What led you into this position?
So I actually did quite a few different jobs. I finished my PhD in microbiology at UNSW Sydney.
Yeah.
So I was teaching throughout my PhD, and I was teaching many classes. I was teaching things in science and in medicine and in engineering, and I really, really enjoyed the teaching aspect of it. I liked research, but not as much as I liked education.
Yeah.
And so when I left, I went and actually worked at a high school, and I was a careers and transition advisor. So the idea was I was helping different students to learn about their potential and learn all the things they could do after school, after they were finished. And so after that, I went on to become a careers advisor, a student advisor at UNSW Sydney. And that was really, really exciting. And then I was presented with this opportunity to become an educational developer. It just happened to come out of the blue. It was something that was offered to me, and it's been a really exciting thing. It's the type of job you don't realise exists, and yet it makes so much sense, and it's really, really necessary for uni.
How does your past research experience and training contribute to your current role?
So I use my experience from my research every day. I was only discussing it yesterday. That ability to be able to look at the bigger picture at the same time as looking at details and having an attention to detail is really, really important. Having that ability to critically think, to have written and verbal communication skills is really, really important, but also to kind of understand the science. So I don't mean necessarily that I'm a content expert in every single area, but the idea that you can understand complex science means that you can bring it back down to a simplified level. And I think coupled with my experience in teaching, I can see what students need, and I can see the level that we need to pitch it at so that it's actually interesting and you want to learn it, versus being completely overwhelmed by so much information that you decide to just kind of procrastinate and leave it.
So what is one thing you love and one thing you hate about your job?
So one thing I love about my job is the fact that I essentially get to go into work every day and do something really creative. So I have the fun part of education, I guess. I don't have to necessarily come up with the big curriculum and sit there and really have to kind of whittle away at that. I get to find out how to make it shiny and how to make it exciting, and that's pretty cool. The thing I hate about the job, I don't know if it's necessarily a hate really, it's actually the fact that I guess we're limited for time that we have to work on something. So there's always something that you could do that you could add more to a course, because there's endless possibilities. And so I hate the fact that I can't do everything I want to do. So that would probably be the thing I hate.
So do you enjoy what you do now, and did you initially find it intriguing and interesting?
Yeah, the answer is I love what I do. It can be quite challenging, I guess. It's, you're trying to look at a whole course and figure out exactly where you can improve things and where you can fit things in sometimes a very short time frame. But it's really, really rewarding to see how the students improve in their learning, and how you'll see them say, oh wow, it was really cool to see A or B in my course. I found it really, really useful. It was, and you'll see that they'll say, oh, it's such an improvement on the course I had before, especially if they're doing kind of a 1A and a 1B style subject combination. So that's really, really exciting. I found it intriguing and challenging from the very start because as I said before, I never knew that a job that was out there like that. So coming in, I had no idea what I was going to expect. And yeah, I'm surprised every day because you're always learning something new, and that's pretty cool to find a job that always keeps you on your feet and never leaves you bored. Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
In Scif, our amazing tutor Paige teaches us about the importance of networking. How important would you say networking is in your profession, and why?
Networking is really, really important in my profession, and not just my profession, but in all the steps that led me to where I am today. I was presented with many, many opportunities because of my networks and because of all of the times that I took the opportunity to speak to people that I knew and just tried to seize every moment. With my job today, I actually acquired that, as I said before, I was offered the opportunity, and that was because I had networked with someone and was meeting with them about an educational idea. So it is obviously very important. Now, with my specific job, I'm constantly working with different groups of people. So I'm working with academics, I'm working with freelancers, I'm working with students, I'm working with my colleagues. So sometimes you need to find out a solution really fast, or you need to find out the best way to do something or the best person to use for a job. So networking is really, really important, and I think that's why our unit is really, really strong, is we all work together and we find the best answers together.
What are your future goals as of now?
That's a really good question, and I'm not sure if I know the complete answer to that question. At the moment, I think it's just strengthening my skill set in what I'm doing in education right now. I really enjoy it, and I find the creative outlets really, really good. I do like the managerial side of things, and so I could see myself going down that road. But I also have a real passion for empowering and supporting women and basically people that are trying to get into different scientific areas and to figure out where they fit in life and to try and help to inspire them. I think that's a really, really good thing to do, and yeah, I think that's a goal that extends past my career. And it's kind of a passion of mine. Yeah.
If you had your time again, would you do anything differently, and why?
I don't think I would necessarily take a different path. I think that every single experience that I've had has led me to where I am today. It's taught me lessons. There's things that I look at and think, wow, I wouldn't think it was a waste, but I definitely think it was a challenging thing that taught me that was something I didn't want to do. However, if I look back and I would do something differently in terms of myself, I think back to high school, and I think back to going into year 11 and 12 and sitting with my careers advisor and telling her that I was looking at becoming a fighter pilot. And I remember her telling me that she didn't think it was the best idea for me, that it's a field that a lot of women really struggle in, that they'll get bullied, that men don't like to train up women in case they get pregnant. And it was really discouraging. And I think if I looked at myself then, and I could tell myself then something, it would be ignore those people. It's really not their life. You can do anything you want to do. And that's why I think I'm so passionate about trying to help others, because I want them to know that the sky's the limit and that they can break those barriers. We have so many role models these days breaking those barriers, and I think that's a really important thing to know.